All right, today we're diving into something really strange happening in the Grand Rapids, Michigan housing market. Seriously, when you look at the numbers, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. It's a genuine paradox for anyone trying to buy or sell a house there.
We're looking at a situation that seems to defy the basic laws of supply and demand. It's a total head-scratcher, really. You've got a market that looks like it's cooling down and heating up at the exact same time. How is that even possible?
And here it is, the heart of the contradiction. On the one hand, you have a massive number of sellers. We're talking nearly half of them slashing their prices. But then, on the other hand, houses are just flying off the market at this incredible pace, way faster than anywhere else in Michigan. That's not supposed to happen, right? Price cuts usually mean things are slowing down, not speeding up.
So how can both of these things be true at once? Let's put on our detective hats, break down the clues, and figure out what is really driving the market in Grand Rapids.
Okay, our first clue is that huge number of price cuts. To really get what's going on, we need to take a closer look at the strategies sellers are using.
The scale of this is just staggering, 44.9%. Let me put it another way. Imagine you're scrolling through listings in Grand Rapids. Almost every other house you see has had its price dropped since it first went up for sale.
And what's really wild is how completely one-sided this is. Just look at this chart. While almost 45% of sellers are cutting their prices, less than 1% are raising them. So this isn't some confusing market with mixed signals. No, it's a huge, clear trend of prices being adjusted downwards.
But here's where the plot thickens. You'd think with all these price cuts, the whole market would be tanking, right? Well, it's not. The median list price is holding steady at $365,000, basically unchanged from a year ago. So whatever's happening here, it's not a market in free fall.
And this chart really shows you the market's underlying strength. The price per square foot in Grand Rapids is way higher than both the Michigan and national averages. This tells us these homes have some serious value. Sellers aren't cutting prices because their homes aren't worth much. Something else is at play here.
Which brings us to our second clue, the incredible speed of this market. And folks, this is where the story takes another really sharp turn.
42 days. That's the median time a home in Grand Rapids is on the market before it's sold. Just 6 weeks. In the world of real estate, that is absolutely lightning fast.
And to put that speed into perspective, just look at this. A house in Grand Rapids sells 3 weeks faster than the Michigan average and over a month faster than the national average. It's in a completely different league.
Now, yeah, it's true, the market has slowed just a tiny bit from last year when it was at 35 days. But even at 42 days, it is still light years ahead of the rest of the country. This is definitely not a market that's hitting the brakes.
So what's the rocket fuel behind this speed? It's the buyers. The rate at which homes are getting sold, it's called the absorption rate, is up over 14% from last year. That's a direct measure of demand, and it shows that demand isn't just strong, it's actually growing.
And that leads us to our final and maybe the most important clue, the supply of homes for sale. Or maybe I should say the serious lack of supply.
Before we see the number, let's just quickly explain this term. Months of supply is a key metric. It basically asks, if no new homes were listed, how long would it take to sell everything currently on the market? A normal, balanced market is usually around 4 to 6 months.
So what is it in Grand Rapids? It's just 1.5 months. That's an incredibly low level of inventory. It means if no new homes came on the market, the entire city would be sold out in just 6 weeks. Wow.
This chart shows just how severe that housing shortage is. The supply in Grand Rapids is far, far below both the state and national levels. And this is what creates intense competition among all those eager buyers we just talked about.
Okay, let's lay out our clues. We've got widespread price cuts, really high home values, sales happening at lightning speed, and critically low inventory. It's time to put it all together and solve this puzzle.
And this quote from Housing Wire just hits the nail on the head. Sellers are choosing strategic adjustments over extended listing periods. You see that? This isn't desperation. It's a choice. It's a strategy.
So here's the playbook. Sellers are using these price cuts as a weapon. In a market where there are so few homes for sale, even a small price reduction makes a listing stand out immediately. It creates a flurry of attention from all those competing buyers, which leads to a frenzy and a very fast sale. They're trading a little bit of money for a massive amount of speed and certainty.
And this strategy works perfectly because all the market conditions are perfectly aligned. You've got the extremely low inventory creating scarcity, intense buyer demand creating competition, and high home values that give sellers the confidence to make a small cut without really hurting their bottom line. It's a really smart, calculated move in a very fast-paced market.
Which leaves us with this final big question. In a market like this, is speed more valuable than the final price? The sellers in Grand Rapids, well, they seem to have answered it. In a market that's defined by scarcity and fierce competition, it looks like the certainty of a quick sale can be worth more than holding out for every single last dollar. It's a fascinating trade-off, and it has completely reshaped the rules of the game.